Yo!
What's up,
Craig?
man?
What's up?
What's up, man?
Thank you for doing this.
No problem.
Appreciate it. It's good to see you.
Thank you for asking me to do it.
That's right. Yo, God changed your life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, he did.
You encountered Christ and your path was changed.
Forever changed.
Woo! Yo, what was it like when you first realized maybe God was real or that your life was changing?
Well,
Dang. It's fine.
that kind of messed me up.
Yeah.
Well, I really realized that God was real when I was younger. I was about 14. Got hit in the head with a rock.
Dang, that's what happened.
You know, got hit in the head with a rock right here. I flatlined. I had
What?
yeah, I died 3 times. They brought me back, and I had a spiritual experience. Right.
Oh my gosh.
So I knew ever since I was a kid that, you know, it's real, that there's something beyond this.
Yeah.
I don't know what's what, you know, I didn't know. I was just a kid, but then when I got older, you know, I was obviously in my mess and stuff, and then when I went to Teen Challenge, I don't know, something about, before I even went in the building, and I just pulled in the parking lot, and I just felt, I just knew
Yeah.
my life's gonna change, and it has changed.
Praise God.
Yeah.
What was it like being at Teen Challenge, like learning Christ next to other men who also had similar issues, like struggling with similar things?
It actually made it a lot easier. It made it a lot easier to be able to, you know, open up. You know how hard it is for people to, you know, try to accept it, or,
Yeah.
you know, people like, go with the masses, go with the flow. So, with that being our nature, it was a lot easier to be able to go in there and hear these stories about these guys that were right where I was, you know.
Yeah.
So it made it easier to open up faster. And it actually helped a lot as far as digging in too, because, you know, when 2 or more people are gathered together,
Yeah.
it's, you know, God's there in the midst.
So something about being with other believers, yeah, it almost helps us, like you said, dig in deeper, kind of.
Yeah, it takes the whole, you know, what everybody thinks about me type of thing, it just takes that right off the top. Like, that doesn't even matter. When you see these guys, you know,
Yeah.
it really helped.
Well, I kind of asked you earlier, but it was that, did you ever think we would make it to this moment, or like, if God hadn't have stepped in your life, or like completely changed you, where do you think you would be?
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be dead. Guaranteed. I'd be dead.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it, yeah.
What were you messing with, or what was going on in life, or like, what were you wrapped up in?
Oh, I was wrapped up in the needle. I was wrapped up in cooking meth, stealing stuff, you know, just all that stupid crap that we did. But the needle was the main thing.
Yeah.
Just put anything in it. Didn't matter what it was.
Dang.
Yeah.
I was thinking that, how would you describe the type of person, the type of man you are when you're following Christ, as opposed to that man prior? Like, how would you describe yourself when you're at your best, or like following God's closest?
It's a confidence thing to me. You remember in Teen Challenge, I always spoke about confidence, because that's what it boiled down to me, is confidence to be able to, you know, because I feel that everybody knows deep down, whether they want to admit it or they fight it, they know that there's something out there. They know that there's something more than this, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people fight it, they don't know what to do. But, you know, once you're confident and you get the confidence to be able to face that, it's just, your life is so much better, you know. I mean, you can face everything. Like, do you feel like there's nothing out there that you can't do?
Yeah, what could stop you?
Yeah, ain't nothing gonna stop you. That's how you feel. It's just a confidence. It brings your confidence up. It's yeah.
It's funny that we felt the same way in our mess, like in the beginning. Like, you feel like, or how I felt. I always felt like drugs were like, if I was Popeye, this was my spinach. And like, I could get through anything, until you realize, like, oh my gosh, like, once that leaves, or like it starts to not work as well, and like, you just realize you went down a wrong path.
Yeah, at first it feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It makes you feel like you're on top of the world, you can do anything, and then slowly it just takes everything away from you. Yeah, and when I went to Teen Challenge and I was able to, focus just focus on God in my life, what I need to do and where I needed to be, and get all the rest of that nonsense out of my life, out of my face. Yeah, it just made it so much easier.
It's a hard process, and there were things that we learned and we went through that were tough. I was gonna ask, is there something that at the time when you were going through it, you're like, this is stupid, this is not gonna help me, but when you look back, you see like, oh my gosh, like this instilled something in me, or like, can you think of anything specific that might have? And I mean, we had times of studying, we had times of like organizing, and like you had to have everything in order and down to each, really regimented. I'm not sure how to say that.
Regiment?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe that's a tough question. I think about being disciplined for stuff. I think about my shoe line, and I think about punctuality and how that stuff at the time maybe seemed irrelevant, but it did something to our word, like that you did what you said you were doing, you were where you're at, where you're supposed to be at. Like, I think it created something.
Yeah, it does create something. It creates a discipline in yourself, you kind of get a discipline.
Yeah.
It's like making your bed every day. You know what I mean? You wake up. It's like what I think it is I think it's like setting accomplishments. Like before you even walk out of your bedroom in the morning, you feel like you already accomplished something. You made your bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is more than most people do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think them little things like that it just helps with that.
Yeah.
Helps with your discipline. Helps with your confidence. It helps with all that. And it gets a lot of that other crap out of your mind when you're focused on, am I going to get rolled up for my shoe being on the line?
Yeah.
You just don't have time to think about some of the other stuff that your mind tends to think about.
If you had to do it again, would you go back to Teen Challenge?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yes, I kind of wish I would have went sooner. Now
Yeah.
I know what it's like. Yeah.
What a special experience. So when I think about it, I think it's cool that we were like saved from drugs and stuff, but it's cool that we were given a gift from God, like to find out about Him with other guys, like something about doing it together.
Yeah, doing it together. It's the fellowship of it.
Yeah.
It helps because a lot of guys, I'm just speaking on my personal experience, but when I was out there running the streets, like Muskegon or whatever, I was just out there by myself. I was out there by myself. I didn't have nobody helping me. Everybody was against me. Everybody's out trying to get $1 out of my pocket if they can. It's a whole different mindset. So when you go in there and you got these other guys, it makes all the difference in the world. It really does.
Yeah.
Being able to do it together and watch other guys, watch other guys grow. Because it's ultimately not for us anyways. Yeah, well, it's good that we're not dope fiends anymore, but yeah, it's about other people. We're supposed to be out here helping other people,
Do you remember a time where you were able to help someone, like at TC, maybe a new guy, or like?
Yeah, there's been a couple of times where I know that what I said made a difference.
Yeah, I know that you were always very encouraging to me, and dude, some of those nights that I think back on that were like difficult. I remember being there with you and like Don and Anthony, and I don't know, just building a friendship that.
Meeting of the minds.
Yeah, meeting of the minds.
Meeting of the minds. Yeah, those were the best times.
They really were. But you were always very encouraging, and I know that you helped me. I can't think of like a specific thing that you said, but it was just your presence, dude. Because it's like another real one. You're like, I know this guy's been through stuff, and I know that he's also going through stuff. And so to be able to lean on you.
Yeah.
It was cool to see you work, too. I remember, you were just maybe in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, I was in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool to see guys in their element and in their... Where are you working now? Now you're doing construction, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I've actually been doing construction since the day I left.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Did you ever see yourself in a job like that?
Actually, no. When I was younger, I used to see myself in a job like that. But then when I hit Teen Challenge, I just thought there'd be something different for me, you know?
Yeah.
So I went out there and got, first job that I could get, trying to make some money. But I kept working on trying to go where I felt like I was being called, but for some reason the door never opened for me, you know? Like I kind of been sitting around waiting for a door to open, but you know how that goes, it's my fault for waiting.
But I feel similar. I understand what you say.
Just waiting for the opportunity to try to help somebody,
You went on rallies and stuff and you shared your testimony, right?
Yeah, a few times. I wasn't one of the singers. I wasn't one of the regulars.
Yeah.
I ain't got a voice like that.
You sing 10 or 15 minutes away. Or
Yeah. Yeah. No, they actually never had me up there. Pastor Sam would have me just do my testimony.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was it like sharing your testimony?
Actually, at first it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a little bit different, but it got easier over time. And I believe that I spoke to a couple people.
Yeah. Has anyone in your family seen a difference in your life?
Well, a lot of people see a difference. Yeah, they were always happy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. But I don't know, it's different because they had their own things going on too, So
Yeah.
they still had their own lives.
Right.
And stuff, but they did notice that a humongous difference. But now that it's been 5 years, it's kind of normal. It's no more normalized now, so we don't
New normal.
we don't really talk about it or think about it like that no more.
Yeah.
Talk
about worship, dude. What is worship for you?
Worship for me is, worship is where the Holy Ghost comes in. I think that's the only time that I've actually ever felt the Holy Spirit just there. Some people will be like studying, or some people will be working out or running the back 40. But when I felt it the most was when we were worshiping.
Yeah.
That's when I felt it the most, the strongest. That's where I usually would go in the morning and get my energy from for the day to go out and try to help people was in the worship times. Yeah.
So you feel like God filled you for the day in those moments of worship?
Yeah. In the morning when we went to church and we worship, right after worship is when I always felt energized, ready for the rest of the day, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day.
Wow, what's going through your mind in those moments of worship? Like, what's your inner dialogue?
Oh man, my inner dialogue. Actually, I was always just happy, always grateful. Being able to be here to worship. Just being alive in general. Knowing that I know that one of these days I'm going to take what I did and what I've learned and be able to pass it on to somebody, plant a seed in somebody's life,
Yeah.
Even if it don't, grow until years later, if I can just get through and to be able to, build up that confidence in the morning like that. I kind of miss that stuff actually, I used to go every day, every morning. And that's something that, some days I'm feeling off, and I really believe that that's why, because I just don't have that worship every single morning anymore.
You told me that God has answered some prayers for you.
Every prayer.
Yeah.
Every prayer, bro. Every single one of them.
What's that do for your faith?
Oh man, it just solidifies it. I was concreted in the faith when I left, man. But I love it. I love it. It just solidifies it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think back, God has answered some prayers in my life. And it's cool when He does answer them, and that we can be thankful for that. Like, maybe it's just a refresher to keep praying.
Yeah, a little reminder.
Yeah. When you think of like thankfulness, and you were talking about you were really grateful, are there any things you're specifically thankful for, or like?
Well, specifically, let's see, that's a good question. Actually, yeah. So, I'm specifically thankful for when I first got there. When I first got to Teen Challenge, I forgot, what's her name? pastor. He wasn't a pastor, he was a reverend there. Oh, shoot, I forgot his name.
Do look like.
He
worked there?
Yeah, he worked there. He does factory work now. He's on Facebook.
Hey, Pastor Darren?
Darren.
Yeah.
Yes, Darren.
Okay.
So one of my, I think it was in the first week, I believe, they come around and they gave us a piece of paper, you know, and it's kind of cliche, you know, you always hear it your whole life, but it really hit me. It said, you know, life is about your perspective and your attitude toward it. You know, it's all about, because everybody's gonna have problems. You're always gonna have stuff coming at you. Always gonna be something going on, you know, and it's about what 1% is the problem, you know, and it's 99% about how you look at it, right? And I got that on my first week, and that festered, and that festered, and that festered. I mean, the whole time I was there, and I'll never forget it, because there'd be times when I'm just, and I know my mind's just, you know, not into whatever we're doing, or, you know, it's wandering off, or, and I would just remember that it's all about, it's about the perspective, you know, and that's just always stuck with me, and I'm so thankful for, because like I said, it was cliche.
Yeah.
You know, we always hear that stuff, but then, you know, once I
Perspective.
was there and it actually hit me, you know, it hit me really hard, and I'm grateful for that, because that changed my whole outlook throughout the whole program.
Yeah.
And afterwards. And
Man, you said earlier that we were blessed, and that a lot of people were in a lot worse situations than us. And I think that's true. Like, given your perspective, like, that's a good perspective. Like, and something about Teen Challenge did help me with that. It's like, you think everyone's like, oh, I got it bad. You know, like, there's a temptation to have a pity party about a lot. But when you see other guys really struggling, you're like, oh, I really don't have room to, like, God has been good to us.
yeah, very good.
And I think that place was great for that, too.
It was.
Dude, as we're
Set
sitting
a lot
here
of things
talking.
in perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember, now I'm kind of remembering, like, you always had a good word for someone. Like, anytime there was a guy struggling, I literally remember you being like, you have a joyful spirit, and you would, I kind of remember, you know, like, running up and, like, just hugging or being, I just remember you helping a lot of people. More than
Positive, yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to be positive. But I try to keep it real with people, man. It's not easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not easy, but it's worth it. And even, you know, even going in there or even coming out, you know, coming out of there. Because you got, what is it, like the bubble, the whole bubble.
Yeah.
You know, and they try to tell you, take this bubble out there with you, but it just don't really work like that. You know? So.
Yeah, I always think of it like a greenhouse. That, like, plants can grow in the wild for sure.
Yeah.
But given the perfect conditions,
Yeah, they
it'll
grow
definitely
the
grow.
best. That's
Yeah.
where they grow the best. Exactly. You know.
Yo, what about some spiritual warfare? I know with the drugs and stuff that I used to do and be a part of, it took my mind some time to get back to baseline, or like get back to where I felt like it wasn't crazy. Have you experienced any of that, where like your mind is changing and shifting?
Yeah, I feel like that quite a bit actually, because I'm kind of getting older now. So,
Yeah.
you know, my mind just does that on its own. I'll wake up and feel like it's shifted. But, yeah, all the time.
Was there any verse or anything that helped that process? Or a verse you look to that gets you pumped up, gets you excited?
There's a few of them. The one that gets me excited though is that we wrestle against not the principalities and the powers of this world, but of the afterworld. You know that verse?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's the one always that sets it back into perspective for me.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that, like, we don't have to fight with each other.
No, we don't have to fight with ourselves. You know,
Yo.
we don't. We just do that. You know?
Oh my gosh, I never saw it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to fight with each. Some of my biggest struggles are with myself.
It is. It is. You ever done something stupid and you're like, oh man, and you walk by a mirror and you kind of look down?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't even look at yourself in the mirror type of thing.
Yo, God meant us to not fight Yeah, ourself.
Yeah.
Dang, Craig, you just put me on right there.
That's one that I always, that's a big reminder because, it brings me back to when I was a kid. I got hit in the head with a rock,
Yeah.
And it puts it all into perspective. All this is just a blip, we're just here for a second. So if we can help somebody.
Right. Yeah, if we can help someone. You said that was a spiritual experience for you.
It was.
Being hit by a rock.
It was.
What do you think made it spiritual, or like why do you describe it like that?
Well, because, so I remember I got hit in the head with this rock in Croton, and we go to the hospital, and I got this towel, full-size towel, just soaked, it's red.
Dang.
Some doctor, he's like, oh yeah, we'll just stitch it up, right? So I remember laying in this hospital bed, and he got 3 stitches in. I felt him tie up a couple stitches, and he had me lay down, and I was laying down, and the blood stopped running out, and it started running in, gravity. So it started bleeding inside my brain.
Dang.
And that's, I don't know, I remember looking at a picture, and I felt like I just faded into this picture, and I felt the most surreal feeling ever. And sometimes I look back on it and I wonder if that's why I tried every drug and every combination of drugs that I could put together to try to get that feeling back, right? I don't know if that's what it is, but maybe subconsciously thinking like maybe I was just trying to get that feeling because of all the drugs I've ever done.
It was a great feeling.
It was the best feeling. I felt like I actually got hugged by God, like for real. Like he just come down, picked me up. And then it got really, really weird. Like I got standing in line. I was looking down. I didn't even have tattoos when I was 14, but I watched my tattoos disappear off my arms. Crazy. It's
Wait a minute, this is like a vision you're having? You feel like you're in heaven, or like you're in line?
I'm in line, yeah. I remember turning around, seeing this really tall, Middle Eastern looking guy, just mad. He was so mad. I'll never forget the face. He was mad.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like an evilish look. I don't know, it's hard to explain. I don't talk about it much anymore because I was a kid, but yeah, I don't want to get too much more into it, but it's spiritual. Yes, it's very spiritual. And from that point forward, when I got shocked, the lady, I remember.
Clear.
Yeah, I remember, like, this is almost weird. It's like riding a bolt of lightning. It's weird, like I was riding this bolt of lightning and I snap back too and I look up and this lady's on top of me with her knees on my chest, beating on my chest, hitting me with the zappers and everything. It was
trying
crazy.
To save your life.
Yeah, she saved my life, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You
said it's like riding a bolt of lightning.
Yeah, back into my body.
Dang.
Yeah, it was wild. Ever since then, I mean, I know. It doesn't matter what I do. I've always known.
Yeah.
I've always known that it's real.
So you were close to death.
Yes, very close.
We've had some friends, some buddies that we've lost some buddies.
Oh man, we have.
There's been a few in my life or in our life, and I wanted to ask how you handle grief now, as opposed to before. Like how do you handle losing someone as a Christian and a God follower?
It's still hard.
Yeah.
It's still hard. I don't know. I just know that they're in a better place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just hope for the best. I don't know. I don't go to drugs. I know that much. I deal with the grief, as it comes. I just take it head on and just deal with the feelings of it. You know what I mean?
And there were moments you would have probably.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
My ex-wife died a couple years ago, and yeah, I realized that when all that happened, that I didn't resort back to what I used to do. I knew that right then and there that I was good. I'm good. I'll never go back to it again. If this ain't bringing me back to it, I'm never going back to it.
So that was I know it's a hard situation, but a big moment for you that it felt like momentum had shifted, like you weren't going back.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't know where I was going though either,
Oh.
I was still a little nervous about the future, you know, like I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know what's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go get high about it.
I know it's not gonna happen. Do you ever see any of your tendencies from addiction show up in regular life?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I'm still the same person.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes I'll realize I'm doing something and like, oh, this is closely, like it reminds me of the things I used to do.
Yeah, patterns.
Yeah,
you see the patterns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to be able to recognize those now though and be like, I understand and I know I'm different. And you just see it kind of like shows up in a different way.
It does. It shows up in a different form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even something about doing this, I've talked about it before, where like, you know, say I'm driving to a new place or like, you know, it's kind of like adventurous. Like I always used to feel that way, like riding dirty kind of, like you're like, you know, something about it is just...
something about it is slightly exciting.
Yeah.
It is. Like you're getting away with something almost, you know?
Exactly. So I felt God replaced that with good things.
Yeah.
You know, so are there things in your life now that you felt like is a replacement, like God has given you this instead of that?
Oh yeah, everything. I mean, I was running around without a license. I was doing everything. I have a job now. Keeps my mind busy. I got a license, a vehicle, you know, like just regular, everyday, normal stuff. And that's all I prayed for when I was in there. I mainly and mostly prayed for my family and everybody else, you know.
Yeah.
Like I prayed, I'd want to get a job. I just wanted to be normal, get a place, a job, a license, just be like a normal citizen, you know.
Yeah.
But I did most of my praying for other people when I was there. So I got everything that I needed, and that just fills the void, you know. I just remind myself.
Yeah.
That every prayer was answered, and I just know everything will be all right. You know.
Yeah. And so God saved you in a pretty unique place, or like that's where He poured into you, right? Teen Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a chance to go back there recently.
Yeah, the other day.
Yeah, what was it like? You said that you felt things come back, you know, like what was that like?
Actually, it was very refreshing.
Yeah.
It was very refreshing. It's like taking a cold shower in the morning. You know what I mean? Or after a hard workout. Or something, like a cold plunge after a hard. It felt amazing. It felt like, I don't know. I pray and I've been to church, you know, since I got out and stuff. I don't regularly go, but I haven't felt that feeling since I've been back there. You know, and to go back there and to just get it, like it never left. It's a great feeling. Makes me want to go back there more and, you know, just keep going back and helping the guys out.
Yeah, be a part of something.
Yeah.
Be a part of that. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, it's changing a little bit, but I mean, it's still the same place.
Yeah.
Still the same guys. Still the same problems.
True. Yo, you know that a few of our friends might watch this, people that maybe we haven't spoken to in a while. If you could say something to them, what do you think you would say?
Oh, people I haven't spoken to in a while, just keep your head up, man. Just keep your head up out there, guys.
Yeah.
You know, just keep your head up. It only gets better.
That's right.
You know, it's not easy, but it's completely worth it. And those who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's not easy, but it's completely worth it.
It's completely worth it. And even getting out, because that was the thing that I had an issue with. There was like, so in Teen Challenge, like we was talking about earlier, there's certain things in Teen Challenge that we weren't allowed to touch, you know, but they were issues I had to deal with in my life.
Yeah.
So I got to deal with a lot of the issues that I had, but I still had a few issues when I got out, you know. So I had to deal with them. But I think, you know, everything's coming around.
You think God gave you the ability to deal with those in a different way?
Yes, in a different way. And also I think that He made me not deal with them because then I wouldn't have to depend on Him anymore. You know, like He keeps things just out of reach to remind me that, you know, you don't lose that connection. You know what I mean? You can't, because it's very easy to. It's very easy to lose the connection.
Yeah.
Know? But if you keep that in mind, and I think that's why He does that, just keeps a few things just out of reach for Him. You know?
Yeah, keep us wanting more of Him.
Yep.
What do you feel like He's teaching you right now?
Oh wow, that's a good thing. Right now, I think He's teaching me to be calm. think, calming down.
Yeah, in life.
Yeah, in life in general.
Was there a time in life you weren't too calm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I used to be wild.
You want a family? Do you have kids?
I do have kids.
Oh,
My
yeah,
kids
you
are
do.
grown up and grown out. They're out on their own. But yeah, I mean, I always wanted a wife. I always wanted a wife. Good wife.
What's it like having the opportunity to speak life into your children now and to show them God as opposed to what maybe you had shown previous?
Well, yeah, if I would have said anything to them before, they would have thought I was a hypocrite, so that always helps, you know. At least what I got holds a little bit of weight these days.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, your word is stronger.
Yeah, and they watched it, you know, they watched it. But then when their mom died, they, I don't know, they kind of shied away a little bit, you know.
It's probably a hard, confusing time.
Yeah. But they're still young yet. I'm doing the best I can.
Have you seen guys maybe go down a path that you went down that, what would you say to them? You know, maybe not anyone you know specifically, but there are people who are going down
Oh,
a path.
there's a lot of guys out there. I would just, like I said, man, go to Teen Challenge.
Yeah, buddy.
Just go to Teen Challenge. Turn your life over and, you know, see if it helps. You know, because you're allowed to leave anytime you want to.
Yeah.
When you're there. Don't have to stay there. So if it's not right for them, that's really the only advice that I would be able to give to somebody out there like that. Because I've done secular rehabs. I've done all the rehabs around here in town. I've done all these things. I could teach the classes, and I've done them so many times.
That's right.
And nothing ever touched it. Nothing ever come close to it except the Teen Challenge.
Yeah. And that's because they steer people to Christ.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have some weird doctrine. They're always pushing the Bible, dude. And that's what I like about it because, yeah, there's a lot of different programs. I just would never feel right endorsing a program.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they're all about, it's a personal relationship with God, you know. Who always said it? I forgot who always said it. Was, I think it was Don. Maybe Don.
good old Don.
Old Don, he used to say, you know, it's only 18 inches away from, you know, you could be 18 inches away from heaven. You know what I mean? Because you can know the Bible all you want.
Yeah.
When your heart's 18 inches away and your heart ain't in it, you could be 18. Just imagine working this whole life and being 18 inches away from getting in heaven. That's crazy. I can't go out like that, so.
It's a good word. Man, do you feel any pressure from the outside world as a Christian now? You know, I know there's persecution.
Well,
and people,
yeah, of course. It's really hard to be a Christian these days. It's one of the hardest things to do, is be a good person and be a Christian out here.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of pressure out here. So I understand why some people, you know, have a hard time with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever think you would follow Christ so closely?
No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I never thought I'd ever have a license.
Yeah.
Driver's license.
Right. What's working like? Do the guys around you ever? Let's see. Do they see something different in you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody sees something different in me. They say I'm more of a glow, not all skinny.
Yeah. Yeah, you look fuller, healthier.
Yeah.
I remember the first day I ever met you.
I look like a bobblehead, skinny with a big old.
You were just skinnier, and I remember you came to our table. Yeah, we were eating dinner or something. It's cool knowing that, and then knowing now, you know.
My work boots and my white beater.
Yeah, and you had a sweatshirt on, and you wore the hood inside and stuff. But I'm sure we all, dude, I was a lot different back then too.
Yeah.
Yo, it's cool. That was 5 years ago.
I can't believe it was 5 years ago, man. Time flies out here.
Yeah.
May 22nd, 2018.
That's wild.
That's the day that I shoved the basketball down Dylan's throat. Bam!
Go get that.
And my boots.
Yeah. And what about Cappy Coo?
Oh man, I've actually taught a couple people that since I've been out.
Have you?
Yeah, I still love that game.
Yeah, it's like a form of dominoes, right?
Mm-hmm. What is it? Puerto Rican, I think. I think it's Puerto
Something like
Rican.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to do that for push-ups, dude.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I only lost what, a total of 5 times the whole time I was there.
Come on.
No, there was a few times. I did win quite a bit.
Yeah.
What was my partner? He's a good player.
Oh, who was it?
Oh, the big tall basketball coach. I'm so bad with names.
Larry, maybe?
Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry Bird.
Good old Larry, dude. I wanted to ask you about being around the guys, worshiping, growing. Yeah, we talked about the day you left, that things were different. How would you describe it to someone who just left? Like, what would you say to them? Because I know I was a little naive when I left. I thought things would be different.
Okay, so the biggest, yeah, and then some of the biggest problems I had was when I got out, I just realized, like, I'm thinking, okay, now everything's gonna be better now. I finally got my stuff together. Finally, after all this time, I got my shit together. My family's gonna love it. Oh, it's just gonna be great. It's gonna be this great life. But for one, how many times have you tried to do that and nobody believed you because you went back to it? So, you always have that. So it's gonna take some time for people to get used to it. And for two, just because you took a year off to better your life, how many out here how many people out here, what did they do in that year? They didn't get their license better. They're pretty much the same. So it really hit me when I got out here and I was like, yeah, I changed my life and I'm doing so much better. And all these things are happening and prayers are being answered, but then I just watched like everybody else was the same. And that really it hit me hard, like, all this hard work and you're thinking, oh, if I just do this and do that, everybody will accept me and everybody, and it's not really like that.
Yeah.
So it all boils down to that personal relationship with Jesus, because when you get out, he's really done. I mean, you might have some support. Some people have more support than others, but some people ain't got no support. So they gotta, you gotta get that personal relationship, because once you leave, what did Pastor Sam say? The devils and the demons are out here doing push-ups on the side of the road waiting for you to leave.
Yeah.
They're waiting for you.
Yeah.
Life is out here waiting for you, and it ain't changed. The drugs are only going to be stronger by the time you get out. So you got to take that personal relationship to heart. You got to take that and hold on to it.
Yeah, that's a good word. A personal relationship. You have to.
Yeah, you definitely have to. That's the
Yeah.
biggest part.
Yeah, I like the way you put that, because you do think, like, I changed. You think everyone else might be changed or more receptive to you, maybe?
Yeah, they're more ready for you, and like, okay, yeah, we've been waiting for you to do this your whole life. Oh, and then you just get out and you're just like, God, it's not what I thought it was going to be at all.
Yeah.
So then, you get this setback period. Like, all right, now what am I going to do with all this? And in that moment is where you're going to find out, how personal your relationship is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What am I going to do with all this? That's a good way to...
What am I going to do with it? Exactly. And and if you don't do something good with it fast, I mean, you know.
Yeah. I went back.
It'll grab you right back up quick.
Dang, dude. It does take action. Yeah, it takes intention. It's not something that's going to happen on its own.
No. And that's what I thought too. I really did think that. Now I finally got my stuff together and go out here, and things might finally be different. But then I realized the only thing different out here is me.
Yeah.
I'm going to change. So you gotta be ready for that. You gotta be ready to hit the streets with nobody having your back, if that's what it takes.
Dude, that's it's true. It's true. Yeah, it's got to be you. It can't be someone else. Yeah,
So you know how many people are going through the program doing it for somebody else anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was on the streets, it was just me. I went there by myself, And, I mean, I obviously had a little bit of jail time over my head, prison or whatever, but, yeah.
No, I just want. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Is that okay?
How you doing?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you. Yeah, dude, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Dude, what do you think it'll be like to see Christ return?
Oh man, I don't even know. I don't even know, man, because we have this westernized version of them, and then then you got what the Bible says. He's not anything close to that, and I have no idea what we're in for.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited to see it because it almost feels like it's getting closer and closer. Like we might see it in our lifetime.
Yes.
Maybe.
Do you think it'll be? Let's see. Like, so we felt the Spirit in worship and stuff. You think it'll be something in our senses that it'll just be like so over the top? Like we felt euphoric through drug use and stuff. So there's like more in you. Once you feel that, you're like, oh, I didn't feel like this before.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I kind of anticipate, that God will like the euphoria will be in Him, kind of. And I know it's not a feeling. I think it'll happen in our minds.
I think it'll happen in our minds. I think He'll talk to each one of us personally in our head.
Yeah.
That's what I think's gonna happen.
And something about that knowledge, or like knowing Him, well, I think
I don't even know
blow
what
the
to
top
think,
off.
but I can't wait, man. Honestly, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
I am.
I like it's never been more real than now.
No.
I know people talk about the end of time and
Yeah, all the signs and everything, but yeah, it's just getting closer and closer.
Greg, thank you for doing this. You've always been an encouragement to me. I know that you've helped other guys too. If you could say something to maybe non-believers, or give someone any bit of advice, what do you think it would be?
A bit of advice. Well, my best advice would be, like I said, man, it's not going to be it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. So I would just try. I don't know how many people. I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there are doing drugs right now, but they don't really want to. They just feel like this is just what it is. They don't have nothing better to do. They don't have anything. It's like the only thing that makes them feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just go to Teen Challenge or go to a church or something. Just try to, you don't even have to do that. I remember when I was drunk and high in my bedroom crying out to God. That's all you got to do is just accept Him. Accept Him, and it just makes a big difference. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's a good word.
I don't
put
really
a cry
know.
out to God, dude.
Yeah, put a cry out to God. It's all about your perspective,
Yeah.
Get a personal relationship with Him, and He will change your perspective.
Yeah.
And you'll stop looking at these drugs like a savior. That's what I think.
It'll change your perspective. And you'll stop looking at the drugs like a savior.
Yeah. And I was watching like I said, your podcast, A Void. I was watching your little thing, and it's a void, I think a lot of people have a void and they're trying to fill it and they don't know how to fill it. You know? And that's so, I've been through a lot of stupid crap in my life, and I've done a lot of things to try to fill my voids. I've, just done pretty much everything out there to try to, make yourself feel good, and nothing fills it. Nothing ever has, except for Jesus. Period.
He's filled the void.
Period. He filled it, caulked it, put cement in there,
That's
locked
right.
it up,
Yeah.
put drywall on it, makes it look all nice.
Nothing could change it.
Ain't nothing getting into it.
Praise God, dude. It's cool to see a life change. It's cool to see it, to witness it. And you've witnessed it in my life. You've seen that change.
Weren't we in Lower Grove together?
Yeah.
Didn't we go up in the same month, or you was 1 week ahead of me or something like that, one class ahead of me, I think. But yeah, we did the whole thing together.
And we sit here different today. Changed.
Changed.
And I know we have work to do and we have room to improve, but man, we're not who we used to be.
No, we ain't who we used to be. No, we ain't where we are, or we ain't where we want to be, right?
Yeah.
We ain't where we want to be, but we're not where we used to be.
That's right.
That's for sure.
It's a good word.
That's a
Greg?
good word, man.
Love you, dude.
I love it.
Maybe we'll have you on again.
Yeah.
We'll do something.
Yeah, we'll do something. I'd love to be on again.
That'd be sick.
Maybe I'll take notes instead of just winging it next time, so I got a good word instead of just off the top of the dome.
I think this is a great word because I think that conversationally, this is how we can testify to other people. This is how we can share. This is how it comes up in real life. So I see what you're saying, but I know that God is going to use everything that you said.
It is how it comes up in real life too, you know.
Yeah.
You're right. You just have conversation, you straight off the head. You don't go out intentionally with a script trying to talk to people out there, and you know. In
Right.
life, you don't do that. You're right.
We had the same conversation in the car. You know, it's like it's natural. So I just don't want you. I know God is speaking through you, and He's using your life and your testimony to help and share and guide others. And it doesn't even have to be anything you said, bro. You just sitting here is a testament to everyone who ever knew you before.
Yeah, anybody who ever
us.
actually knew me, man, you know, they never would have thought that I'd still be alive. Or, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I should have been dead.
Me too.
Praise God.
Woo!
Let's go.
Love you, Craig.
Love you too, bro.
Yeah, come on. See you guys later.